B. The impact of railways and transportation innovations on the economy. The development of transportation systems has always played a pivotal role in shaping economic landscapes. Among the most transformative transportation innovations in modern history, the railway stands out as a catalyst of economic change. From the early 19th century onward, railways revolutionized commerce, industry, labor, urbanization, and global trade. This essay explores the profound economic impacts of railways and other transportation innovations by examining their influence on market expansion, industrial productivity, labor mobility, urban development, international trade, and the global integration of economies. 1. Historical context: transportation. Before the railway age. Before the rise of railways, transportation was limited to roads, rivers, and seas. Goods were moved by horse-drawn wagons or ships, which were slow, expensive, and weather-dependent. The high cost and limited speed of overland transport meant that most economies remained localized. The lack of efficient transportation constrained industrial production and prevented the rapid movement of raw materials, finished goods, and labor. The Industrial Revolution of the late 18th century created an urgent need for better transportation to support factory systems, coal and iron production, and growing urban centers. This demand laid the groundwork for transportation innovations that would redefine economic activity. 2. Railways as the engine of industrial growth. Railways emerged as the most significant transportation innovation of the 19th century. The introduction of steam locomotives and rail lines enabled the fast, cheap, and reliable movement of goods and people over long distances. Lowering transportation costs. Railways drastically reduced the cost per ton-mile of moving goods. For industries dependent on bulky raw materials like coal, iron, and grain, this cost reduction made production more profitable. The savings in transportation costs encouraged more distant trade, allowing producers to reach wider markets and reduce reliance on local demand. B. Boosting industrial output. Factories could now receive raw materials more quickly and in greater quantities, leading to increases in scale and output. This was especially critical for heavy industries such as steel, mining, and textiles. Railways also facilitated the delivery of finished goods to national and international markets, enhancing the profitability and competitiveness of industrial producers. C. Stimulating related industries. The construction and maintenance of railroads fueled growth in several industries, particularly iron and steel for rails and engines, coal for steam power, and timber for sleepers and stations. These linkages created a multiplier effect in the economy, generating widespread industrial expansion and employment. 3. Market expansion and commercial integration. Railways unified regional markets, international economies. Goods that once could only be sold locally now had access to markets across vast distances, creating national markets. Farmers and manufacturers could sell products in distant cities, breaking down local monopolies and price disparities. This integration encouraged standardization of prices and improved market efficiency, benefiting both producers and consumers. B. Enhancing agricultural commercialization. Farmers gained better access to markets, especially in countries like the United States, Russia, and India. Railways allowed for the large-scale movement of agricultural products like wheat, cotton, and livestock, promoting commercial agriculture and rural monetization. C. Encouraging specialization. Regions could specialize in the production of goods, for which they had comparative advantages, confident that railways would deliver their output to broader markets. This specialization improved productivity and economic efficiency. 4. Urbanization and labor mobility. Railways transformed the spatial distribution of population and labor. Rise of urban centers. Cities with railway connections became hubs of commerce and industry. Rail access attracted factories, workers, and investment, leading to rapid urban growth. This urbanization, in turn, stimulated demand for housing, services, and infrastructure, further boosting economic activity. B. Labor mobility. Railways enabled the movement of people to new employment centers. Workers could migrate from rural areas to cities or from one region to another, in search of better opportunities. This flexibility helped balance labor supply and demand, reduced regional unemployment, and facilitated the growth of a wage-earning working class. C. Suburbanization. Later, railways also contributed to suburbanization. Middle-class families could live in suburbs and commute to cities for work, transforming patterns of urban development and real estate markets. 5. Global trade and economic integration. Transportation innovations, especially railways, played a key role in the globalization of the 19th and early 20th centuries. Colonial and export-oriented economies. European powers built railways in colonies to extract and export raw materials. While these railways primarily served imperial interests, they also connected remote regions to global markets. For example, railways in India, Egypt, and sub-Saharan Africa expanded exports of cotton, tea, rubber, and minerals. B. Expansion of world trade. Railways linked inland producers to seaports, facilitating exports and imports on a massive scale. This integration enabled the growth of world trade, especially in commodities like grain, metals, and textiles. The global economy became more interdependent as a result. C. Shipping and multimodal transport. While railways revolutionized inland transport, maritime innovations such as steamships and the Suez Canal complemented them by speeding up global shipping. Together, they formed multimodal transport networks that reduced time and cost in global supply chains. 6. Economic impact of other transportation innovations. While railways dominated the 19th century, the 20th century introduced further transportation innovations that continued to transform the economy. Automobiles and trucks. The rise of automobiles and trucking allowed for door-to-door transport and greater flexibility than railways. This particularly benefited retail distribution, agriculture, and small-scale producers. B. Aviation. Airplanes accelerated the movement of people and high-value goods. While costly, air transport became vital for business, tourism, and perishable commodities like flowers, seafood, and electronics. C. Containerization and shipping. The development of standardized shipping containers revolutionized maritime transport. Containerization dramatically reduced port times, losses, and shipping costs, making global trade faster and more reliable. 7. Social and regional inequalities. Transportation innovations, while broadly beneficial, also created disparities. Uneven development. Regions with railway access prospered, while those without were often left behind. This spatial inequality sometimes reinforced regional imbalances in income, infrastructure, and opportunity. B. Displacement and environmental costs. Railways and highways sometimes displaced communities, especially indigenous populations. The construction of transportation infrastructure also led to deforestation, pollution, and disruption of ecosystems. 8. The digital era and modern transportation. In the 21st century, digital technologies are reshaping transportation once again. High-speed rail and mass transit. Countries like Japan, China, and France have invested in high-speed rail, enabling fast intercity travel and reducing reliance on air travel. Urban mass transit systems are also critical for sustainable development. B. Smart logistics and AI. Digital tracking, AI routing, and autonomous vehicles are transforming logistics. Companies like Amazon and FedEx use data to optimize delivery networks, reducing costs and enhancing customer service. C. Sustainability and green transport. Electric vehicles, EVs, bike sharing, and eco-friendly public transit systems are part of a global shift towards sustainable transportation. These innovations seek to balance economic growth with environmental stewardship. 9. Conclusion. Railways and transportation innovations have been fundamental to economic development. From the Industrial Revolution to the digital age, they have lowered costs, expanded markets, integrated regions, supported industrialization, and facilitated globalization. While these transformations have brought immense benefits, they have also produced new challenges, including environmental degradation and regional inequality. Moving forward, the continued evolution of transportation must address these challenges. While preserving its central role in economic vitality, the next chapter in transportation history will likely focus on sustainability, digital integration, and inclusive access, ensuring that the transformative power of mobility continues to benefit all.